Hi there, my name is Dr. David Simpson. I'm the Associate Director of the Veterinary Institute for Regenerative Cures at the School of Vet Med. So when I first arrived to Sacramento, it was quite a challenge to kind of fit in, find some friends. I had no family here, I had no friends here. I was essentially alone. And so I was extremely excited to hear that my department, my unit, was going to invest in me with the Capital Resource Network in order to kind of help me get grounded and find my sort of own individual space here in the Davis and Sacramento community.
So, my name is Zishan Mustafa. I am the Director of Finance and Administration for Health Sciences here at the School of Medicine as well as the School of Nursing. I was actually fully on board immediately as I began to engage in the service and the conversations and discussions that we had in terms of the transition.
My name's Jacinda Townsend, and I'm a new assistant professor at UC Davis. And I want to talk about how vital the Capital Resource Network was to my move. I moved here in August. I moved here with two children and a co-parent. Initially, we started talking about my kids. We started talking about schools in the area. We started talking about the extracurriculars that my kids were involved in Indiana and where they might pick them up here.
We're a huge soccer family, as well as one of my kids does gymnastics. And very quickly we were able to, within 24 hours, get an email that highlighted all the surrounding soccer clubs in the area, gymnastics. Being part of UC Davis, we even got connected to coaches, both in gymnastics as well as soccer. We were really curious at the schools and the ratings, student-teacher ratios, blue ribbon schools and things of that sort. We got a lot of feedback, and what was great about it was we got immediate feedback from CRN, starting with the home, moving to kids' activities, and putting myself and my wife last in this whole ordeal. And I would say the very beginning, in terms of renting a home, I was very fortunate enough that I was able to Skype, FaceTime with my colleagues at CRN, was able to see the house while I'm working on the East Coast, to see what we're actually getting into.
Well, the best thing about the CRN is just how personable they are, and trying to kind of figure out what my needs are, and then having them work sort of behind the scenes to find all of these different leads to kind of get me on the right track. And even though I arrived here, I was already hired, the CRN was still so useful for me because of the fact that I was alone and I needed guidance to find my place here. They joined me with several different organizations, including Metro Edge, including the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus. They put me in touch with a number of different sports organizations because I'm a big sports fanatic and love to play. And so really that has assisted me in finding new people, new friends, and now I'm actually quite happy with the network that I have developed around me, the friendships that I have made, and I gotta say the CRN was quite instrumental in sort of putting that together for me and making sure I could make those right connections.
There were two areas that turned out to be absolutely critical for me. So I moved here from Indiana, so that was basically a cross-country move. There was no way I could have found housing on this end without the Capital Resource Network. Also, I had a sort of unusual situation in that my ex-husband wanted to stay close to us because we do share custody of two children. So he needed to find employment on this end. The Capital Resource Network worked so hard with him and found him a position teaching in a high school in Sacramento. I really wonder sometimes, how whether we would have been homeless or something, if not for the Capital Resource Network. So the services were really essential to me, and I cannot thank them enough.
To be able to have that person to go to that you can talk to about, and a couple things I didn't even highlight is how do I go through the moving process? What do I have to do? So even sort of little tidbits of information of how do I get my driver's license? What are the steps? Who are the rental agencies that we contact in terms of transportation? That was all provided. It was sort of, I already had a survival toolkit, I would say, from CRN moving here as a family, and I would absolutely recommend it to anybody using it. It sort of eases your nerves, and you have someone that you can rely on to be able to make this move doable for you and your family.